This podcast is a member of the Place to Be Nation family. Visit us at placetobenation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
Take this woman as your lawful wedded wife.
Ooh, yeah! Oh,
Place the ring on her finger and repeat after me. With this ring, I thee wed.
Hello and welcome to With This Ring, number 22. I am your co-host, Ryan Everett.
I'm your co-host, Cindy Everett.
And today we'll be continuing our look into the GWCW Greatest Wrestler Ever poll, and we're going with one of the franchises of WCW, and Sting.
Yeah, the Ultimate Warrior of WCW.
Yes.
I don't think I even know his real name. Like, I did not know a lot about Sting before we watched all these matches.
Right.
Because he never wrestled in WWE, did he?
Like, just in 2014, he came in,
kind of
like,
remember that.
He had a few
freaked out.
matches.
Yeah. Tell me about Sting. What's his background?
So it's kind of, like you said, the Ultimate Warrior. They actually trained together.
Oh, okay.
And were a tag team early on.
Really?
Yeah. It was Sting and Rock.
Oh,
so,
a little foreshadowing.
Yes. So then eventually they kind of went their separate ways, though, pretty early. They didn't get along too well. And
why not?
Just, I think everyone kind of agrees the Warrior was a
weird
fella.
He was the one, he was the problem, not Sting.
Right,
Gotcha.
yeah. So Sting ended up in the UWF, which was eventually sold to WCW. So he came into WCW like through the back door, kind of.
Got it. You got it through acquisition, as we say.
Right, yes. And then he just kind of started slowly building his way up. I mean, he was, jacked with a painted face, so he was going to catch on pretty quickly.
Right, yeah, it's pretty popular.
Especially, like, the Road Warriors were around, Legion of Doom.
Oh, yeah.
And they were, like, the big tag team, so he was pretty quickly, like, linked to them, and they teamed up when they needed to. But then eventually he was given the first Clash of the Champions, our first of four, our mini-series of
we watched a lot
Sting versus Ric Flair
matches. I'll have to pull up my notes. What's his real name?
Steve Borden.
Would not have guessed that.
No.
Where's he from?
He was born in Nebraska, but he was raised in Southern California.
Okay, so nice Omaha.
Yes.
Boy. But he's billed from, like, Huntington Beach or something.
From Venice Beach.
Venice Beach, yes. Obviously. Yeah, we watched a lot of Ric Flair matches. But the first one, well, I don't know. I like the match itself, but I don't like the endings.
Yeah, the ending, especially, having a judge's decision.
Right. The whole point of a judge's decision is to have a decision.
And 2 votes for Ric Flair, 2 votes for Sting, and 1 vote for a draw.
You can't vote for a draw.
I know, yeah, that's a problem. WCW has problems with judges sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not the first and it's not the last time that will come up.
Oh, really?
Yes. But
then,
so the match
how
itself.
Ric Flair's manager is in the shark cage.
Yes, J.J. Dillon was locked up in the shark cage to make sure he didn't interfere.
Yeah, I mean, this was a match I just kind of enjoyed watching. I said lots of lockups. There was a lot of time in the ring. They like to do, Sting likes to do the overhead press.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
I feel like just once again watching 4 Ric Flair Sting matches, you kind of see what he has his repertoire. He likes to do military press. He likes to do a drop kick. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, drop kicks. He's big enough.
Oh yeah, but I think I did notice the most recent one we watched. A little slowed down a little bit, not as spry.
Yeah, and I think also,
to be fair, those were 9 years apart.
Yeah, and I think Sting is super energetic in the first one, but he learns to slow down, and not in a bad way, in a not get too ahead of yourself way as it goes on.
Build the suspense.
Right.
Yeah, the Wonder Years kid. There's a lot going on in that
Yes.
last match.
Yes,
the Wonder Years kid
the
was
Penthouse
there.
Playmate of the Month or
She
year.
was there. There was a guy hanging from the ceiling. And it was a good match. Like, I mean, I kind of thought it was going to go the whole 45 minutes, just the way the announcers were hinting.
Bringing it up, yeah.
Hinting that. That's why I was especially disappointed. And I thought there was going to be shenanigans. And I was like, oh, there's not. There's going to be a clean win. And then, no.
No. Time was draw.
Yeah, that's not good. So that's the Ric Flair kept the title, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he remained champ and it just kind of kept going for a while.
Yeah. So when's the first time you saw this match?
This would be one that like they would show as the best of Clash of the Champions a lot because
it's one of the best ones.
And it's one of the best ones, and like no matter what, Ric Flair and Sting were like once I started watching WCW, they were always there, so they didn't have to worry about showing guys that aren't on the promotion anymore and like a best of show, which sometimes the best of are missing some good matches, but hey, that guy's on WWF, so you don't want to show him.
Gotcha. So it's more marketing. What is this?
I don't know. Some glacier or something.
Sorry. Anyways.
Waves breaking on the shores of Tahiti.
Oh, okay. You can edit this part out, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't ever seen this one before.
Well, Sting's a surfer. It works.
Okay.
Surfer Sting, at least, for the first couple.
Yeah, well...
So should we talk about all the Ric Flair matches at once, or do you want to do it?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay, so the first one was Clash of the Champions.
1988.
In 88, and then...
1990, Great American Bash.
Right.
Lots of chops. Sting's knee was hurt. I don't think you knew that.
No, they didn't mention that very often.
This was a lot faster paced.
Yeah. And it's a lot shorter.
That's true.
I think it's about 16 minutes.
I wrote down all their friends are around the ring to make sure there's no interference, which to me means there will be interference.
Exactly.
And I wrote, yep, the Four Horsemen run out and they get stopped by Sting. Then I wrote the sparkler face is amazing. And
I think that would be El Gigante.
That's right.
Who held off Ole Anderson just by being very, very tall.
Yes, obviously.
Yes, and he was someone the Atlanta Hawks drafted for basketball.
Oh, really?
And then, like, once they got him over here, his legs were too weak for basketball.
Oh, my gosh.
There's like, hey, we got a wrestling group. You want to be part of that?
So what was his contract like?
I don't know. He wrestled for like 2 years there, and then Vince McMahon saw him being the worst wrestler in the world. Was like, I'll take some of that, please. And wrestled in the WWF for a year.
Well, I wonder how he got a green card.
Oh, he's working.
Working visa,
Yeah.
HB1 for.
Sure, you could get,
Yeah, after the rules have changed
drafted
7 times over. Yeah.
To be a basketball player, became a wrestler. Same entertainment sports venue.
Sure. We'll go with that.
And then the next Ric Flair Sting match would have been Saturday night.
1993.
Yes.
And they're both faces.
Right. This one, they're both faces.
Oh, there's too many 2 counts in this one. There's too many 2 counts, and it's the ref with like the really like flippy, weird count. Nick Patrick. He was like soaked in sweat too.
Yeah, he gets very sweaty under the bright lights of center stage.
Must be, but yeah. So this one was probably my least favorite.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't like the fans chanting, "Move, there it is"?
I mean, I did, but the match itself, it was just a lot of 2 counts, lots of roll-ups. Then Sid Vicious comes out and interferes, so... Yeah, very
a little screwy ending, I'll give you that.
Yeah. And then... Oh, and the next one.
Yes.
I like the next one.
Clash of the Champions 27.
1994.
And it's the unification between the WCW World Title and the WCW International Title.
Oh, is that what's going on?
Yeah, because they got in a fight with the NWA, which was still kind of have like their board of governors apart from WCW, but they had both belts.
Okay.
So then the NWA said you own the belt, but you can't call it the NWA title anymore. So they made it the WCW International title.
Whatever.
And then they just were like, let's just get one belt to give to Hulk Hogan.
Right. So is that what they did?
Yes.
But Hogan's not in this match.
Well, it's pretty much about him, though.
Oh, okay.
If you listen to the announcers.
Oh, yeah. They did mention him quite a bit. But Sherry came out in Sting makeup, so people thought that she was for Sting. But and then because especially since Ric Flair, Sting was going off the top rope to jump on Ric Flair, and then Ric Flair pushed Sherry. She took the fall.
Yeah.
Then Sting was so upset and distracted that Ric Flair won on the crossbody. Wait, no.
He rolled him up.
That's right. He rolled him up, and then I said Flair pushes Sherry into Sting's crossbody. Yeah. And then Sherry and Rick have a little moment, and you realize that she was on
his side all along.
Time.
Yep.
I don't know why.
She willingly took that.
Yes, and then she jumped off the roof onto Sting and did some fake kicking that was somewhat convincing. Oh, I don't know why I just had this thought, but there was no long narrative like we have with Mick Foley being a runaway pirate.
Yeah.
Sting didn't really do as much acting. Now that I think about it.
Well, he was kind of in he was in the Beach Blast promo where.
Oh, he was. That's great.
He was in a lot of those, but he wasn't.
Oh, you're right.
He was kind of just the straight man.
We should just watch that again.
He was in that. I mean, he was in the White Castle Affair. He takes the helicopter to.
Oh, that's true.
Vader's
we didn't watch
castle.
Any of those.
Yeah, well, not this time around, but
we can watch it again.
Yeah.
I feel like I didn't get to see his acting as much.
Well,
it's Mick Foley and his.
I don't know if that's really great acting.
Yeah, well, isn't that one of the things we're rating them on?
Yeah,
characters.
Kind of. True.
See.
So, yes. So.
Next.
So make sure to put that in when you're rating for Sting. Try to think of him getting clotheslined off the boat and emerging eventually.
Yeah, he should get an Oscar for that. Or at least a SAG, or what's the bullshit one? Well, I guess all of them.
Yeah, all of them.
There was one that was especially lame. Anyways. So, sorry, I don't know why I thought of that.
So how would you rank the Ric Flair matches?
I like I don't know. I actually think apart from the ending, I like the 1988 one the best. And then I like the Sherry one. Okay, shorter.
Yeah.
And then the 1990 Great American Bash. And then, the 1993 one. I really did not care for that one.
See,
what do you think?
I've put 1993 one first because that was the one that I had never seen before, so it's kind of
you have more memories associated with these matches.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and I mean, I think they're all good. I think Great American Bash 90 I'd put last just because it's the shortest, and you could tell Sting was still coming back from an injury. He's moving around slower and stuff. So, and then I'd probably put the Clash 27 second, and then the Clash of the Champions 1 third. Because I always kind of thought that match got overrated eventually. Where
once again you have more context. To me, I thought it was really good because I hadn't watched it and I wasn't aware of the hype.
Right.
So going in fresh, it's very good.
And you see J.J. Dillon get put in a shark cage, which is always fun.
That is good. That's a good gimmick.
Yeah.
I've seen that before.
Yeah, they do it every once in a while. They did it when we went to the Royal Rumble. Chris Jericho was up in the shark cage.
That's right.
So we've seen it.
We've seen a shark cage person.
Yep. All right, let's take a little break here. All right, real quick before we keep going, want to tell you about some of the great things on the Place to Be Nation. Please rate, review, and subscribe. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon Music. Just search Place to Be Wrestling Network. We have plenty of great content for you here at the Place to Be. The Place to Be podcast, the mothership of the Place to Be Nation, where co-hosts JT Rosero and Scott Criscolo take you chronologically through the history of WWE.
PTB and Main Event with hosts Scott Criscolo, Nate Milton, and Steve Will, breaking down all the current events in the world of wrestling.
Talking WCW heads to Center Stage Theater, where Tim Capel, Greg Phillips, Jennifer Smith pay tribute to the legendary promotion from the Dirty South.
Do we do a promo for our own show?
No, we can skip that one.
Highway to the Impact Zone, where Logan Crossland and Jacob Williams discuss the era of TNA, starting with the birth of the Impact TV show.
The NWA Saturday Special, where Scott Criscolo and George Dr. G. Ribello talk both current and classic National Wrestling Alliance.
plus monthly WWE PPV reaction shows and semi-regular shows like Jenny and the Gems, PTB NXT, Adams Division, Special Relations, Chicken Salad, Senior Video, NWA Crock and Roll, Extreme Resurrection, and more.
Yep. And also, make sure to listen to our quad of pods. We have the PTB Pop Experience, is all about pop culture. We have the best in TV, movies, comics, trivia shows, and much more.
Jennifer Smith is always in the Jenny position with her unique takes on pop culture and life. Her feed is loaded with great shows ranging from movies, books, Marvel, and more. If you are interested in doing a pop culture podcast, Jenny wants to talk to you. Reach out to her on Twitter at JennyPosition to learn more.
Also, make sure to join JT Rosero, Aaron George, and Chad Campbell for great shows on wrestling, comics, and more with the North-South Connection feed. Check out the histories of WWE, TNA, and other great wrestling topics and takes.
Also, Glenn and Scott Butler are continuing their spectacular journey through music, films, and more on the Non-Toxic Fanboys podcast, where they try to enjoy the things they love. Find them at Non-Toxic Fanboys on Twitter, nontoxicfanboys.com, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
And make sure to join the Rejuvenated Place to Be discussion group on Facebook. Go to Facebook, look up Place to Be, and request an invite. Discussions and fun with wrestling, movies, tournaments, and all forms of pop culture.
Our 2021 stretch project is determining the greatest NWA/WCW wrestler of all time. Go to facebook.com/GWCW and join the group to discuss nominees.
And make sure to check out placetobenation.com each and every day. We have new voices and fresh takes, bringing you articles on topics in the world of wrestling, sports, and pop culture, including Trent's SmackDown on Fox Report, Paulie's Perspective, and Matt's Disney live-action journey.
And if you're doing some online shopping from Amazon, be sure to click the banner on the right side of the Place to Be Nation homepage or use www.placetobenation.com/Amazon. And it takes you right to Amazon and helps out PTBN with no cost to you.
Yep. All right, let's go back to the show. We'll come back and go over Sting matches not involving
Non-Ric
Ric Flair.
Flair ones. That's a good way to divide it up. Speaking of Sharks, did you see...
All right, and we're back. So next, what we'll look at is we went over our 4 Sting Ric Flair matches, and now we'll go over our Sting versus not Ric Flair matches, which we also did 4 of.
Yeah, there was a lot of matches.
Yeah. So the first one we did was Sting versus the Great Muta.
Over in Japan.
Yes, in Japan for the special WCW New Japan Super Show. And what happened here?
Sting is very strong and athletic. Muta hits moonsault, and Stinger hits him in the knees. People are really into it.
Yeah.
Lots of kickouts. I assume, though, since this match is in Japan, that's why the Great Muta wins.
Probably, yeah.
With the green mist in the face. So there's a lot of mist. Explain the mist.
So the different mist, the green is like the most common.
Oh, okay. It's not like poisonous?
It's a poison mist, but it's not that.
Gotcha.
You recover pretty quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like if you're the red mist, that could blind you though, and if it's yellow, good luck, you might die. Those are very rarely used.
Are you just joking, or do these really have yellow and red mist?
No, there are different color
okay.
mists, and they do have different levels of
potency,
I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's that.
All right. Yeah.
And then, so Sting goes for the Stinger Splash and gets sprayed with the mist. And then afterwards,
for the mist.
It turns into a big WCW New Japan.
That's right. Yeah, everyone
brawl,
comes out.
where they
Was this like the main event of that?
I think it was the second to last match.
Okay.
But it would have been like the next match was Ric Flair versus Tenryu, a Japanese guy. So this would have been more like the
undercard
entertainment.
Gotcha.
Like main of.
Aren't they all entertainment?
Well, yeah, but this was like the two big names.
Like crowd pleasers.
Yeah, right. Because Sting came out like in his American flag attire again.
That's right.
He still got cheered pretty heavily, so it wasn't like
that's true. Yeah.
Boo the evil foreigner, you know.
Like we love Sting.
Yeah.
Sting's on.
Sting's on. Sting's on.
All right.
So then next we went to Clash of the Champions.
This is 1992 versus Rick Rude.
Yep, and the big King of Cable semifinal match.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And this is
Another one out to the judges.
But this time
they decided.
This time they actually make a decision.
It was only 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So, obviously, I think like this one felt like a little bit more like hit the beats, kind of had the momentum switches.
Right.
Tension build. Oh, yeah, this is at the very end. He was just about to get him in a move, right?
Right, yeah. He was just about to get him in the Scorpion, but it didn't matter.
Right. They kind of ends on a cliffhanger.
Right.
And this time the judges do make a decision, so.
And I think they were actually
the right decision.
Pretty good because, like, usually a heel will take most of a match, but here it's pretty even because Sting does kind of like stay hot for the first.
That's true. He was hot
8
first.
minutes,
Yeah.
and then Rude takes over, but then Sting takes over, and then they kind of have a stalemate at the end.
Yeah, I mean, to what extent? I know there's like a certain formula, but it seems like. I don't know, how common is that to be like, okay, first 8 minutes is this guy, next 8 minutes is this guy?
Depending on the match, it's usually like it's pretty standard to have the face comes in, hits his first flurry of moves, heel cheats somehow, takes control, works over the match, then the face comes back.
Like comes from behind.
Yeah, and then like eventually then you go to your finish, whichever way it's gonna.
It's like the hero's journey.
Right. I mean, it's kind of like the standard, like, to graduate from wrestling school, you should be able to do a 10-minute version of that match.
Gotcha. Graduate from wrestling school.
Well, yeah. So Sting wins, and pretty good, and then he goes on to face Vader for the King of Cable. Which we watched before.
That's right. He
wins. He's the king of all of cable.
Oh, good.
Yeah. It means anything. He's
got
a little trophy.
Now. Yeah, and no one has cable anymore.
No.
Well, that's all right.
Maybe they'll have a king of YouTube TV.
Oh, gosh. Sting's still alive, right?
Yeah, he's in AEW, actually.
Oh, he's still wrestling?
Gotcha.
Like
2 matches a year.
Like Christian's wrestling now? And
yeah.
Well, good for him. I'm sure he gets paid a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. And he sells a lot. He sold a lot of shirts like the first time he showed up.
That's a good point. Like, I'm sure if he gets the cut of the merchandise, that's like, why not? Yeah, definitely. Not good for him. Did he keep his nose clean, figuratively?
Well,
literally.
The last 20 years he has.
Yeah.
I think towards the end of WCW he kind of started spiraling a bit, but
oh, really?
Not bit worse. Too bad compared to others.
Yeah, I mean that's gotta be tough to see. Yeah, everyone around you making bad decisions and get out of that.
Right. Yeah. So next we go to 1996.
Yes.
Against Lord Steven Regal, and he didn't have the puffy coat at this time, but this is the Sting era that's usually referred to as Sergeant Pepper's.
Oh, okay.
Because he had to have a sequin
the epaulets. Yeah.
Which of course he doesn't wear here, but with the hair and whatnot.
Yeah.
The hair's growing out.
Yeah, he's kind of he went from neon Sting to mime Sting, especially in the last match we watched.
Right.
With I thought it was William Regal. That was Steve Regal.
Well, he's Lord Steven Regal. Now he's William Regal in NXT and stuff.
Okay, that's why I thought.
So yeah.
All right, I didn't make that up.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, it was a different look for Sting. This match was just kind of weird. They're like dancing around.
Yeah, Regal is really feeling himself here, and he's because it was kind of like a thing where he had been the TV champion off and on for a lot. But now they kind of didn't have anything for him to do, so he cut a promo where he's like, "I should be respected, and the only way I'm going to get respected is if I wrestle Sting." So this was the biggest profile match he'd ever actually rise to.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
And yeah, so he's kind of.
I'm the Wiz. Did
you like the powdered wig he came out in?
He had quite the outfit.
Yes.
He had their big ruffle too, without a shirt on, which doesn't kind of defeats the purpose of a ruffle.
Well, you want to let people know what you're about.
Very formal.
Yes, very formal.
Nobody meets me.
I'm the Wiz.
But yeah, this one was fine. It wasn't gonna I don't need to watch that again.
Yeah, it was just.
Dusty Rhodes had good commentary.
Of course he does.
That's true.
Hard fought.
Yep.
Win for Sting.
Mm-hmm. Wins the sharpshooter.
Scorpion Deathlock.
Oh, excuse me. It's the same move, though, right?
Yes. Of course. And then we took a look at the overarching Sting versus NWO storyline.
I kind of like, and then that was good context. I'm glad that we watched that.
Yeah, because it would be weird if you go from happy-go-lucky, just kind of long-haired Sting against William Regal against Mime Sting against DDP.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of a sign of the times, right? Like, the whole 90s and the fat, like all the neon, then the late 90s, the Attitude Era.
Yeah, black.
He's very representative of the whole arc, the zeitgeist of the
Plus,
early 90s,
like, it was
the late 90s.
because he literally wrestled in one match in all of 1997.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like,
why? Was he hurt?
He was hurt, and he had a thing in his contract where, like, he had to work, it's like 350 days in the 4 years of his contract.
Oh, okay.
And he had wrestled all the dates.
Oh, that's kind of smart.
Yeah, so he, like, banked them.
And then
picked the sick days.
Huh.
And then, like, for
like that idea.
That year, like, he'd show up, like, every week or so, just in the rafters, looking down, until the one time when he rides down and zips up back up with a DDP.
Yeah. That's not safe.
So, yeah, so they did the thing where, like, for a while, he's hanging out with Randy Savage in the rafters, and then Randy Savage joins the NWO, so everyone thinks he joined the NWO.
Yeah, they really like to do the fake stings.
Yes. But then he was faking them all out. He gets them all up with a baseball bat.
Yep.
Then he points to Hulk Hogan. Then they have the match 8 months later.
8 months later?
Yeah, they really dragged it out. That was March, and the match happened at Starrcade.
Did they, like, keep it going the whole time, those 8 months? Did they kind of, like, drop it?
Yeah, they did. It would always be like Hulk Hogan would wrestle Lex Luger at a pay-per-view, and of course the NWO would have a fake Sting come out and cost it. So it was kind of like Hulk Hogan wrestled other things, but Sting was always in the background at least.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, I guess that's nice to have a decoy, then you don't have to work and you can have
right. And like they would all like even if like Sting would still get involved every once in a while and like beat up the NWO with a baseball bat. So that was helping him kind of always stay in the forefront of people's...
Gotcha. So 8 months later when they wrestled, it was somewhat relevant still?
Yeah.
Had,
although, yeah, like this, it probably should have just been Sting going in and killing Hulk Hogan in like 3 minutes. Instead, WCW had to make it all weird. With there being Hulk Hogan winning by a fast count that isn't even a fast count.
It's almost like they didn't know how to be successful.
They didn't know how to get to the finish line, really.
Yeah.
They could do a lot of good things, but then, like, especially, like, the NWO was good when it started, but then they just never really finished it the way they should have, so. Which really should have probably been Sting winning the title and, like, them all splitting apart. Yeah. But you wouldn't want to do that.
Well, you can write some fanfic.
Oh, there's been plenty of people that have, yes.
You yourself included?
Yeah. Not really that version. So,
wow.
But then eventually Sting does get the title. And, of course, as champ, he plays second fiddle to Hulk Hogan still because that's kind of what he does.
Happens, yeah.
And on Nitro, he defends against the United States heavyweight champion Diamond Dallas Page from March of '98.
Yeah. His mask kind of like reminded me of Asuka a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
I know he's obviously predates her, but is she wrestling still?
Yeah, she's still around.
Oh, good for her. Is she in NXT or on the main roster?
Main roster.
Okay, good for her. I know it's like things are starting to get started again.
Right.
So we'll see. Well, maybe we can do like a best of 2020.
No,
which would be very short.
I'm done watching empty arena matches for the time being.
No one wants to do a best of 2020. No. But
it'd be a very short list.
Yes, I said Sting wins. Yeah, definitely not as spry as he used to be. But, I mean, we watched matches that were a 10-year spread, so I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. And, yeah, it was definitely interesting to see his evolution from 1988 Sting to 1998 Sting. But, like I said, it's very actually representative of culture at large.
Yes. Yeah.
So 1997, that was... well, Attitude Era. Like, when did the Attitude Era get started?
Like 97.
Okay.
It was kind of like in conjunction with when the NWO was going on in WCW.
Oh, okay. Degeneration X versus NWO.
Yes, that's what they would make it out to be.
Actually, I feel like I've heard about NWO more than Degeneration X.
Yeah, they're Degeneration X is more is because WWF won. Like it wouldn't be as impactful.
Gotcha. You're gonna have to review these again for me, the categories.
Yep. All right, so give me 1 second to find
The criterion.
Yes.
Criteria.
All right, so nuance, which is longevity, flexibility, and intangibles. Jump up factor is memorable peak matches, moments, and storylines. P is promo skills and character work, and then W is work rate.
Oh, what's work rate mean again?
Like the actual how good his matches are.
Okay, I'm gonna give him a high W.
All right.
I guess. Well, see, I don't know. I might have to redo like some of the previous ones. Poor Dusty Rhodes at a 3.
Yeah, that was.
I don't know, and I gave Cactus Jack an 8.5. I feel like Sting's just as good as Cactus Jack. Work rate. No, I'm gonna give him an 8.
Yeah,
I'll
give him.
Yeah.
Also, I'm kind of gonna grade off just what we saw because there's also some bad Sting matches.
Well, you can go through your whole.
So
well,
I'm gonna go 7.
Because I'm also thinking of his, his Academy Award winning.
Right. Well, yeah, that would be in. Well, that's
P.
kind of. Yeah, I would
Promos.
see. Yeah. P. Yes. P would be promos.
That's pretty funny. I'm gonna give him. They're good, but like looking at the other scores I've given, I think he gets a 7. Like he's no he's no orator.
Right.
He's no actor.
Yeah, I'd give him. Yeah, I'll give him a 7 there also because he gets what he needs to across and stuff, but it's kind of just a bit above.
But if you're against Dusty Rhodes and Cactus Jack, you're not going to get above them.
Exactly. Well, you gave Dusty Rhodes a 7 for promo, which is ludicrous.
I might have to revise that. Like, hey, he was the first one. Come on.
All right, and then so jump up factor. So like memorable peak matches, moments, and storylines. And just I'm gonna give him. This is gonna be my highest. I'm gonna give him a 9.5 because like with the NWO that was huge. Like that was the year-long feud, basically him versus the NWO.
Oh, okay.
So
I see.
like then also when he wins the title from Ric Flair, the first Clash of the Champions match.
Yeah. See, once again, for me, just kind of like watching just this little subset, it's a little hard to get the whole picture. I'll give him an 8. Yeah, I didn't get the same.
Right, I think that's
takeaways
fair.
That you did, and then nuance.
Yeah, so that was.
Is he very nuanced? Like I said, I think I saw him do the same moves every match.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not so much.
Well, flexibility. He's not really showing a lot of range.
Right, that's kind of, well, I would say Surfer Sting to Crow Sting is quite a bit of range.
That's just makeup.
Yeah, but it was a different character also, though. He's like all somber and...
Yeah, but that, I guess, intangibles. I mean, he's still this... That referred to more like the wrestling flexibility.
No, I mean, it means so like
everything.
His ability to wrestle as a good guy, bad guy,
okay.
Different characters.
Yeah, I guess. I'll give him an 8.
8? Yeah, I'll go 7.5 here.
Okay. Interesting. I like, yeah, okay.
So some...
Equal sign. SUM. Yeah, there you go. Hit enter. It knows what you're trying to do. There you go.
So
Well,
each gave him
31.
31.
Okay.
Which right now we would have him as the second highest.
I have to give Dusty Rhodes. I have to go back and redo Dusty
Yeah.
Rhodes. Not right now.
I don't think Dusty Rhodes. Yeah, well, that's.
You have him below Sting too.
I do. Well,
okay,
no, I could say no.
Okay.
No, I think I'd have Sting ahead of
Dusty Rhodes,
and I'd have him ahead of Cactus Jack also, even though I have him scored higher. Yeah, because I mean, he's one of the top.
They're
four.
They're very different.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like watching the Cactus Jack because you know he's gonna get like the crap beaten out of him.
Right? Yeah.
And it's gonna be funny. I don't know.
No, I think you could like Cactus Jack more, but I don't think as a WCW
Greatest of all time.
greatest you could.
Who would go on the Mount Rushmore of WCW?
Ric Flair, Sting, and then probably Dusty Rhodes, and I don't know. I'd probably have Vader.
You like Vader a
And
lot.
speaking of Vader, he is who we'll be covering next month.
All right. Someone got a Photoshop. Can Photoshop them on
I'm sure there's some like meme generator where
probably
any
You
four
could put any four faces.
photos together. Yes.
I like that idea.
And since this will be dropping on Tuesday, happy birthday!
Aw, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. My 27th birthday.
Yep. So next time it will be Vader time. Until then, we will see you next time.
Bye.